Rings, Socks and Mines by Decadent Meerkat. A Dobby, Gollum, Yoda threesome. Warning. /
This one's for you, John.
Ah, Yoda. Yay.
Smeagol crept from the cave and smelt the air.
Yes, my precious.
Tonight, there'd be no nasty orcs and goblins about. No elves with bright eyes or men with sharp swords. Not tonight. Just him and the fishes of the stream. Nice fishes, swimming blindly towards him. Tasty fishes. He would catch them swiftly and silently. His mind conjured images, his fingers curling around the scales, the helpless creatures flopping on the bank as they died. It brought a lump to his throat and a thrill to his loins.
Gollum! Gollum!
Smeagol crawled on his stomach to the water, with no cursed white face, only the stars above. The dark stream ran near invisible through the meadow, but not for Smeagol, not for sharp-eyed Smeagol. He reached his hand out, ready to dip it in the cold stream. He jerked back as he heard a sudden click.
What was that, my precious?
Was someone there? Some hunter more silent than he, lurking ready to pounce? He sniffed the air desperately.
Dobby is lost! Dobby is lost!
Smeagol readied himself to flee, then stopped. His night vision spotted movement, not 20 yards away. The new arrival, whatever it was small, and waved what looked like a sock. Its head was completely bald, with wide pointed ears and massive eyes. Its scrawny body was wrapped in a pillowcase, a strange little creature all told. Smeagol paused. In all his years, he had never seen a thing like this.
Is it tasty, my precious? Is it crunchable?
He licked his lips.
But it might have a sword, my precious. Long, thin, nasty sword. Careful, careful, my precious. Let us see, oh, let us see.
He edged closer. The creature did not look dangerous.
Not at all, my precious, but strange, oh so strange.
He'd squatted on the grass, sobbing.
Dobby has lost Harry Potter! Dobby has lost Master!
The master?
Smeagol hissed without thinking.
Which master? The master of the precious.
The creature turned and looked straight at him with deep, sad eyes.
He can see us, my precious. No yellow face, no white face, but he can see us.
Harry Potter is the master! Dobby is lost! Dobby does not know where he is! Where is Harry Potter?
As if on command, a light flashed in the sky, and suddenly the entire meadow was as bright as day. A roaring, as if some great dragon, blew Smeagol from his feet. He was stunned, but only for a moment.
Need to hide, my precious. Evil magic, elvish magic.
Wincing, he dashed for the cave.
Precious,
he screamed.
The skylight, it burns us. Nasty, Harry Potter. We hate it forever.
But just as he was about to reach the cool darkness of the cave, a boulder tumbled down across the entrance, blocking off escape. A soft, new light spread across the night. Smeagol looked over his shoulder, fearful of what would come.
Stop, we say.
That Yoda voice is shit.
Wait,
I can't do Smeagol for shit, but that Yoda was fucking shit.
Stop, we say.
Yeah, even he can do it.
By the way.
Said a voice. In spite of himself, Smeagol obeyed. As if out of some strange mist, a new figure emerged, clad in a dirty robe. This one looked vaguely like the Dobby creature, small, wide-eared and bold. But unlike Dobby, he was old, impossibly old, with wrinkles crisscrossing his face. Even stranger, his skin was grey-green, and he radiated immense power, of a sort Smeagol had never before felt. The stranger clutched a staff in his right hand.
Crashed our spaceship we have. Yoda we are.
That's a crap Yoda voice. Can you do a real one?
He said.
What is a Yoda, my precious? Can we eat it?
The sobbing creature with the sock waved his fist.
Dobby wants to know what Yoda has done with Harry Potter. Dobby is lost in a strange place.
Dobby clenched his teeth.
Dobby can't apparate. Doggy is stuck here forever.
Doggy.
Dobby. Dobby goes dogging.
Bit Freudian.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah. See,
Said Yoda.
So stuck we all are. Except for you.
He gestured at Smeagol.
Come here. No. Come you here, we command.
Smeagol found himself helpless to resist. He crawled slowly over to Yoda, head lowered. He muttered as he went.
Crashed we are. And lost we are. A cheering up we shall need.
A cheering up, my precious.
Oh, this is so rapey.
Fancy you we do. Horny we are.
Smeagol blinked.
Horny, my precious? What is horny?
Wanting to put our bits in you we are.
Smeagol spat.
No bitses, keep the nasty hornses.
Dobby hopped over.
Are you friends of Harry Potter?
Said Yoda.
Friends of Harry Potter we are. Lots of snarry, unlonely nights we have read. A threesome we need, yes?
He gestured with his left hand. Smeagol found himself looking over at Dobby in a new light. Yes, he remembered the emotion of lust from all those years ago. The way he'd used the precious to sneak off into his neighbours' bedrooms and watch. Oh, he'd watched and learned from those bouts of invisible voyeurism, but he'd never precipitated himself. Never having had the chance.
Do you want to try that again? Sorry.
It's one of the words I can't say.
You can't say participated.
Participated. I can say it now, you said it, yeah. No, can't. But he'd never had the chance. No one had ever wanted him. For the first 100 years under the mountains, he'd spilt his seed to memories until those two faded into darkness, and fish and orcs. So he spilt his seed to orcs and fish, rather than memories. But desire is once again rising in him.
We will fox it, my precious. We will fox it hard right here on the grass. We will fox it till it screams.
Jesus fuck. He tore off his loincloth and stood naked beneath the stars. His long-forgotten phallus rose majestically. He rubbed it, recalling the contours, the texture, the wiry hairs. It was a thing of beauty.
Christ.
He saw Dobby had dropped his sock and pillowcase. Yoda had discarded his robe. Both were naked and erect as he. Dobby turned to Smeagol. He blinked.
What do you want first, Master? Dobby aims to please every friend of Harry Potter.
He's calling us master, my precious. After all these years, someone calls us master.
Smeagol grinned.
Methinks you should suck our cock, my precious, our long, beautiful cock.
Said Yoda.
Shaft you with our mighty lightsaber we shall.
He patted it.
Dobby has much experience.
Me
Dobby
too.
is always of service.
He knelt and took Smeagol's phallus in his mouth. The warmth and wetness left Smeagol gagging.
John, what are you doing?
Sorry.
The warmth and wetness left Smeagol gagging.
Got him.
Yoda moved around behind Dobby and thrust himself into the creature's rear end. Dobby did not even flinch, because he'd taken Hagrid from afar.
Oh God! Oh no!
Didn't even feel it. His lips move up and down the length of Smeagol. His tongue, so strong, so flexible.
More! More!
Screamed Smeagol, tugging. He tugged at the big pointed ears.
Why has we not met any Dobbies ears before? They are better than fishes, my precious, better than fishes. Got him.
Oh, such a tender ass you have.
No, have you?
Such a tender ass have you.
Sweat beads on Yoda's forehead as he thrust even deeper.
Like it, do we? Lucky Harry Potter is. Yes? Yes.
Precious.
Smeagol spurted seed into Dobby's mouth. He fell back onto the grass.
Precious.
He panted.
Oh, my sweet precious.
Dobby swallowed and puckered his lips.
Dobby calls it my ring of power, Master. Ooh.
Smeagol lay looking at the stars, recovering his breath. He listened to Yoda's grunts and Dobby's happy squeals. His phallus grew hard once more. Hummed Yoda at last. He slapped Dobby on the behind and backed away. The sweat of his torso glistened in the soft light.
Need a little rest, I think. Yes?
Smeagol's eyes devoured the wrinkled grey-green body.
Ours, my precious, all ours.
He sat up.
Give it to us, my precious. Give it to us raw and wriggling.
Yoda nodded.
Switch places we will. Dobby's other end you may try. Approve to you both?
Dobby is always of service. Dobby is a free elf, but Dobby will always give pleasure if asked.
Smeagol frowned.
Elf, my precious. Nasty elves is with bright eyes. You're not an elf, my precious. Smeagol fucks no elves is.
Dobby pouted.
Dobby does not know what you are, but Dobby is an elf.
Yoda waved his hand.
An elf Dobby is, not the elves you know.
Suddenly, Smeagol did not care. After a few minutes, though, when he just go at it again, Dobby rested his head in Yoda's lap, while Smeagol eased himself into Dobby's anus. It was a tight fit, but the elf,
Really is an elf, my precious.
did not shirk at all.
What?
Smeagol took hold of Dobby's ears and pulled them back.
We will pumps it good.
He whispered.
Oh yes, my precious, you will.
Stop!
Yoda pulled back. He slid from Dobby's mouth.
Watch we will. Dobby's sock may we borrow?
Master may use Dobby's sock if Master pleases.
Yoda inserted his phallus into the sock and began pumping it with his fist.
Resume you may. Yes?
Smeagol was more interested in Dobby. His pelvis slammed again into the sweet little elven behind.
Yes, my precious, we fucks it hard, like we saw them doing back home.
No one had ever let Smeagol join in before. Never. They'd waited centuries for this. So much pent-up energy, just waiting for release.
Harder!
Squealed Dobby, panting behind him.
Dobby's is wants it harder, my precious,
Panted Smeagol.
so he gives it harder.
His thrusting intensified until Smeagol began to fear one of them would break. His slender fingers ran over Dobby's sweaty body. His nails raked the elven nipples in nervous passion.
He is coming, my precious, he is coming.
Yes!
Cried Yoda.
Yes! Yes!
All three collapsed, exhausted. I misread that as salted. Smeagol lay sated, his
Lay
fingers
salted.
toying on the grass.
This is what it feels like, my precious, not with Hanses, but for real.
He wondered if things would have turned out differently if he'd found someone before the Precious. Someone who would let him do this with them.
We will never know, my precious. The precious came, and here we are.
At last, Yoda spoke.
Once more we are thinking?
Dobby is wondering.
What is the Dobby's wondering, my precious? No! That's not my line! That's your line.
Dobby's wondering, my precious.
Dobby has a cock too.
A wonderful cock it is. Hmm?
Dobby is wondering if the masters would like to play with this cock just the once. Harry Potter never did.
No.
I'm so glad. Because I had the image of Harry Potter fucking Dobby in the arse from earlier and it's just never left my head.
Harry Potter never did. Lying the fanfiction was.
What is fanfiction, precious?
Discover fanfiction for yourself you must. But a cock Dobby has. Three-way fellatio is the way we think.
The three arranged themselves with Yoda's phallus in Smeagol's mouth, Smeagol's in Dobby's, and Dobby's in Yoda's. Smeagol was pleased with this arrangement. He had Dobby's expert tongue once more toying with him.
But we'll have to do the same to Yoda, my precious. We must be as good as Dobby.
Smeagol had never had a phallus in his mouth before, let alone a grey green one.
Oh no.
Yoda had tufts of white hair growing near the base. Yoda pulled Dobby from his mouth.
Sharp and moist your teeth are.
Moist.
We now call these revealing mistakes Freudian Slip Case Study. 5 when we wanted to write 30.
Pointed.
Sharp and pointed your teeth are.
He said to Smeagol.
Bite me you must not.
Smeagol nodded.
No biting, my precious. We will succeed like an egg with our lipses and gumses.
Smeagol tried. He got to work, keeping his teeth away from Yoda's shaft. But as Dobby brought him to ever-increasing peaks of ecstasy, he lost control. Carried away by the surging power of his own orgasm, Smeagol sunk his teeth into the meaty member in his mouth.
Oh.
For a moment, he tasted blood.
Oh no.
His old hunting instincts suddenly asserted themselves, and he bit down again, hard.
Oh! Bitterness you have!
Yoda cried. He pulled his bleeding phallus from Smeagol's jaws and backed away.
Ruined we are!
We are sorry, my precious.
Wailed Smeagol.
We will not do it again. We swear on the precious.
Yoda grabbed his staff,
Oh.
actual staff,
Oh.
and struck Smeagol once again on the back and again.
Crack.
Nasty, vile creature you are! Begone! Far from here! Go.
Still wincing from the pain, Smeagol felt himself thrown back by some irresistible force. He flew through the air and landed arse first, not far from the blocked cave mouth.
He's angry, my precious. Smeagol whimpered. Angry because we bit its nice nifty cock. But we did not mean to, really.
Dobby still sat on the grass, staring at the commotion with great glassy eyes.
Dobby is confused. Masters are not angry with Dobby.
Go we must.
Snapped Yoda. He pulled on his robe.
Remember how to fix the spaceship we have, and company we need.
He gestured at Dobby.
Come.
As Smeagol watched, Yoda turned and he walked from the meadow. Dobby hopped nakedly after him. How do you hop nakedly?
No. You can hop naked.
Yeah, but not nakedly.
Yeah.
After a few moments later came a strange light and roaring. Smeagol kept his head to the ground and covered his ears. Tears ran down his cheeks.
Evil magic, it hurts us, my precious. It hates us more because we beat its cock. We hate it, Yoda. Dobby and Harry Potter, all heiresses, we hate them forever.
Then darkness and silence reigned once more in the meadow. Smeagol looked up and saw only innumerable stars.
We's alone, my precious. As always, we's alone.
He sighed. At least he still had the fishes. There, he fucking did the Yoda one.
Yeah, that was terrible. John.
Yeah, it was atrocious.
It was awful.
Bloody cocks.
Thanks for joining us.
We're back.
No, because this would be the final episode, you fucker.
We will be back.
We will be back.
Why are the balls up there for?
What are you talking about, John?